FaZe clan taking space towards middle. niko with the USP in his hands. Is he going to be rip-roaring?
Nice one, Niko.
Opens it up with a nice connection onto Rain at least, and sends him packing. But they begin to make their move towards camera with the backup of ropz on the late lurk towards A main.
Nexa firing off some shots, but not really connecting. And although niko gets one, it's a one and done. And now Nexa is stuck between two players. broky doesn't require backup, though. He's going to do it all alone and force the plant down along the process.
broky, the backbreaker of this round, has already caused issues. But it's Frozen that gets first contact. P250 punishment on MOUZ, and bye-bye Hunter as his head goes flying. All down to HooXi. Brains of the operation, but has he got the brawn for this one, Vince?
They go in for this peek, he flicks down, but he misses. And now desperately requires that second player to come in. But it's another perfectly timed flashbang. Frozen may stand his ground for one, but the damage has been done.
broky going for the crazy montage plays as he was spinning around, but no success with a chrome cannon. Doesn't blow them away. MOUZ up close behind the pillar, from pillar to post, as he punishes with 2 frags on the M4, Vince. And now G2 are knocking a first round in this map, unless Frozen can deny it. In the 1-on-3 clutch, being flanked towards spawn. A barrage of bullets comes his way, and niko slays the round. Timeline there. Would you expect Frozen to find the frag on the spam through the smoke? But no, he's on the receiving end as Hunter headhunts his way through. Gets that opening pick. karrigan looking to respond like ships in the night. They pass each other, Vince, but karrigan doesn't realize. He gets his way tucked into the rear, strikes towards the site, 4x3. He doesn't notice HooXi.
And HooXi, the iceberg, sinking the ship of karrigan. And although broky may have a gaping hole in the hull, not quite sunk just yet. Frozen also down and out with karrigan. And he has been one of their heavy hitters. At Katowice, he had a really, really solid performance, Frozen, throughout. Even in the finals, where they did get bested by Spirit pretty comfortably, he was one of the standout performers. So that's 2 huge scalps to take early doors. G2, 45 seconds left on the clock. Gonna try and repel this push, but it's gonna be Rain going in first. niko has his back turned, but HooXi's watching. He's anticipating, and more importantly, he's captivating this round and putting it in the pocket of G2. 2 players stack on the site, and that's gonna be good enough for MOUZ. And there is the second element of Nexa. Much better from G2.
Exchange of Molotovs blocking off access for both team. Time gonna be tight as well. 50 seconds on the clock, Vince. Pop flash out. Frozen will be pushed, but he strikes and slays Hunter.
It's a huge entry, puts way more pressure now on MOUZ, but he's shown he's more than capable of weathering the storm. However, broky turned into a category 5 and blitzes through the site. There's ropz once again. Nexa can do little but save. And that means that FaZe, who started off with a 3-0, then conceded 3 on the bounce, have got back into winning ways.
Crisp shots on this one as well. As soon as they got the rifles back in their hands, the AKs out on display, Vince. They're looking good, shooting hard into this one. And for Nexa, survival of the fittest is what he wants, but ropz is ready. The B-site bombardment. Fighting in towards connector. niko strikes with Hunter to open up as the cranium of Rain goes flying away. ropz and karrigan pick up a frag apiece, and the battle gets close. ropz inside of the smoke, the developer himself cheesing his way into the backline as he'll take down the brains and leave it on a 2v2. Fighting out through Temple though, Vince. He's already got out to the lip, but Nexa can't strike with the SMG. ropz finishes him and drops it down to MOUZ, the other player that's dedicated so much time into the game. More skin in the game than only Pixel in a round like this. So 1v2, can he pop off? Misses the shot, time ticking, walking into the back where ropz is waiting, and the round secured by FaZe. Middle of the pack at the minute in terms of the overall frags. It's niko that's been the showstopper, and through the smoke he strikes with 2, Vince.
Bruh, oh, Jesus. If you're FaZe, you shrug your shoulders like, what just happened? niko did. That's why people have been waiting for him to arrive. Pimp mentioned it on the desk. If he does, he fancies G2 might take this one. 11-7 for niko. Putting this round in the palm of the hands of G2, who need to snatch it away, but they still have ropz and broky to deal with. Nexa and MOUZ. Will they be called upon on the site to try and repel these two players? If they did, effectively would come down to a 2-on-2, and with a minute left on the clock, still plenty of time for FaZe to make their decision.
Nade round on camera to try and force back the CTs. The utility flying over the top of the head of ropz, and he's removed. A missed shot from broky as m0uZ lays claim to another pickup.
There again, and now going through in con. Molotov preceding that just to clear it out. Time is beginning to get scarce though. So FaZe, they've got a lot of little pieces all around the board, but they've got to try and make a move together. And m0uZ, oh, he has such a good read of this game. Constantly finds those smoke pushes. And now HooXi has to try and go from strength to strength, but he gets shut down. m0uZ now with the AK spray, trading out from karrigan's AK-47, is putting it to use against his oncoming troops. And gets the third as well. A 4K in the round for m0uZ. Secures G2 there. G, a ton of damage to karrigan and Rain, and they're going to continue to push forward into another Molotov. Through one fire into another. Feet singed, burning alive, but Frozen gets one. An extra Molotov onto the site. Denies the bomb plant for a bit, allows niko and m0uZ to do their work. And our ropz at range may tap in for a frag, but it's a great cost to his health bars. 4 HP remain. More importantly than that though, Jackie, he has no bomb. He has plenty of time. M4 picked up. This grenade touches down from Hunter.
HooXi can smoke over, block off access from camera. Early flashbang towards A main. m0uZ leads the charge. He wants to deliver the pain. Goes in through the smoke, but ropz has already claimed one. It's a bit of a back and forth, Vince, but most of the damage now comes from niko. 3 frags. Keeps on going with the backup of his brother in arms and makes it.
And they have already disposed of 2 smokes. But broky could be called upon here. ropz playing to watch his back. broky needs to connect the shot, and indeed he shall. It's m0uZ, at least the weakened player that goes down with his assault rifle, and there is ropz to pick up the pieces. A main has now been locked down. It's going to force the rest of the T's to try and get aggressive through mid, but ropz is keeping himself alive with that counter flash. Spray in from Frozen does a ton of damage, but not the kill, and ropz also misses out. niko on 7, HooXi on 39 in this 2-on-2. It is a winnable endeavor though, but there's karrigan from cams, and that could be an end to this round as Rain shoulder peeks in, finds himself niko, and although niko is outgunned, we know
towards B, and 2 of them gravitating towards A main. They've given control of camera to the CT side. Ooh, but the first 2 picks fall in favor of FaZe. They're in the A site, sure, Vince, but you don't have an easy time of closing this round down. They're getting information at least and starting to tag up FaZe. It's all falling away. m0uZ murders 2. Nexa chimes in on broky, and it's down to Frozen to again turn up. Can't do.
They've been very reactive rather than proactive thus far, FaZe on their CT side, and that's more like it. broky takes the shot, tosses in the smoke. Denying entry once again. A minute left on the clock, and G2 are changing it up. Dropping down into the canals now. Big frag from Hunter though, and karrigan gets caught with a smoke out. It's all coming apart here as Rain goes down to HooXi's hand on that MAC-10. HooXi 16 and 11 is having a stellar performance here. And G2 on the brink of taking FaZe's choice of map.
HooXi the Chad? Nah. HooXi the Mac claps back on that one. Big frags with a MAC-10 on entry, Vince. The drive-bys make a whole load of difference, and the B site crumbles. And the dying moments of this round, it has to be a broky highlight reel. He's got to keep himself alive.
To have 4 chances to secure the 1-0. This is, of course, a best of 3. As it is a qualification game for the major. And HooXi catches himself some more prey, runs in and takes ropz's head. Gets traded out, but there's Nexa for the repeat. Beautiful shot from broky, though, is keeping FaZe alive.
broky's bullet battles back. Starves off the push for a few seconds, Vince. G2 look to reshuffle their assets and set their focus on a different part of the map. Rain. Dropping the smoke on connector, removing the line of sight and keeping the AWPer thinking, making m0uZ debate the play. Stay scoped, wraps off towards middle, not giving away the audio cue and grouping up with the wolf pack. This is going to be a late, straight-up play towards the B site with 3 of them running in. At the minute, you've only got 1 player stationed there for FaZe, and that's Rain with just a deagle on backside.
G2 looking to maraud their way onto B to sack the site, to neutralize the CTs, and m0uZ is the man for the job. Dispatching of Rain post-haste, and now karrigan up through connector. We'll have to wind in some pretty ridiculous 1Ds, and Hunter rejects that idea. That entire premise disgusts him. He wants an end to this first map. And Anubis is going to come to a draw. It's going to come to a close in just a few moments' time unless broky can clutch this out with a deagle. One would be seeing multiple players in just a few moments, and it's hoopz with those Julies that puts him down. Frozen's there to return fire, but niko with the USP continues to keep G2 in the lead.
Snapshots. Big connections. m0UZ with the timing might be pulled off the angle that he needs to defend from. Problem is, karrigan couldn't deliver the killing blow quickly enough. So m0UZ returns, supports his teammate, and whittles FaZe down to just 2. ropz and broky. They're miles apart, Vince. broky trapped in cave. Meanwhile, his teammates beginning to find a way to weave through the backline and make his move up from CT. Timing's going to be everything on this. There's a very slim chance they can make this round work.
ropz needs to nail the shot, though. If he falls down, and it's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered, and he falls prey to niko, as so many of his teammates have multiple times in this series. broky at least gets the plant down. It gives him something to play off. Beautiful headshot there, delivered onto m0UZ, but there won't be a double up. There will be no way forward.
But karrigan hits the head of hoopz and shuts down the cave control.
Hunter needs help now. He needs his teammate of niko to come down and allow him safe passage to get the evac out of cat. m0UZ with 2, though. And that second Tech-9 shot was a thing of beauty. karrigan, though, is going to keep the dream alive, continues to get entries and smoke onto CT. But the bomb's nowhere near. Still, Rain has to go by and pick up this bomb, which is going to allow rotations to come in if G2 realize what's coming up. 2 players stuck in CT, with niko still watching B site.
m0UZ teetering on the edge of the smoke, wanted to see if he had an opportunity to push in. They re-smoke, but he's already got ahead of it. Ooh, trying to play around the Molotov, but karrigan's swing slices his head off. Meanwhile, Hunter strikes with 1 onto Rain, and it all falls onto niko. He's been having a huge series so far in a 1v2 with a back turned. He tries to strike, punishes onto karrigan, losing a lot of his HP. Both of them doubling up to play against him. He gets the dink fin.
Round, and we've reached a critical mass point in this game, and Hunter's been caught.
They've got G2's number now. They understand how to counter these early setups towards lane, and they're playing it differently. Not running into the nades, not getting battled back by the cave control. Instead, cutting off the rotation point and stopping them from doubling up on lane via middle. karrigan also assaulting onto another player, so both Hunter and niko are down and out early. And you've got all the map control in the world now, Vince. You've got the setup with karrigan in the backstab position towards CT. hoopz loses his face in a matter of seconds as well. And this round is coming up FaZe Clan.
m0UZ with the freebie. karrigan caught napping. Waiting for that rotational play to come in. Little did he know that m0UZ is still in with a chance. And while m0UZ is alive, there is a way forward. Finds the timing on the smoke. Neutralizes Frozen. And in the meanwhile, long flank from Nexa. But m0UZ may not need anybody else. He may be about to do this all alone. ropz and broky stand between m0UZ and a back-breaking moment for FaZe. A round that should have been straightforward. A 2 versus 4 as m0UZ nearly gets caught in transition. Nexa now, though, has an opportunity with this MP9 at range. He tries to spray, but he can't get any kills. And with m0UZ on low hit points and no kit, it's such a valiant, heroic effort. But unfortunately, it's a bridge too far. And FaZe will double up their tally at 3-2.
The bomb detonates. Fight out towards temple side. Every line of sight is restricted for G2, but Nexa puts himself on a pedestal. The smoke's broken and karrigan bursts, finding the early frag.
Oh, that smoke was so beautifully carved aside like Moses at the Red Sea, and it allowed FaZe to stampede their way across to a 4th. They breach the gap, they gulf it fully, and although m0UZ gets a parting gift, he is now last man standing. There is no way forward for m0UZ apart from through FaZe. And he's the kind of player that can make that happen.
The nade ricocheting round the corner into front cave, giving away the audio cue. and cutting noise for both niko and HooXi. The T's begin to set the precedent. The fact that they want to go for the execute on the B site. Timing of the Molotov is delicious though, Vince. It's going to burn them down into the final 25 seconds before they can commit to this play.
Magisk, too hot to handle, has to fall back. It's a great cost, and broky finishes him off. They would have heard the singeing sound of burning flesh and administered the mercy kill in the end. And now HooXi caught, but still alive. Had a very good performance in the first map. But he's going to have to go above and beyond. Oh, the barrel, that AWP is going to give karrigan's position away all day, every day. But broky spray control on point. HooXi, though, exploding out of cave. First in, and rain again.
Depends on if the CTs give them any inches to work with, any fine margins. Timing on this is going to be crazy, Vince. They adjust their crosshairs as there was another man pulling up to back them up towards middle, just as we saw the push down on lane. karrigan being spammed at, the 5-7 nipping at his heels. Magisk's deagle unable to deliver. The MP9, good for one, but the 5-7 of Hunter claps back for another. Rain is continuing to be the beast for FaZe as he's making the difference round after round. Hunter shoots at the toes, but they stay alive. 20 seconds on the clock, Vince.
And niko still alive, still activated, still healthy. If Hunter can draw some fire, that could allow his cousin to come in and clean up the rest. He's got one. Better than niko could have hoped for. And niko's position is still unknown. He's made no noise. But this is the third round in a row that rain is going to be required, and niko's going for the full-on defuse. Are you serious, niko? The ice in this man's veins, and he snatches it. Breaks the heart of rain. And I know it looks pretty grim, but he's effectively been playing A alone most of these rounds. And his timing on these smokes, drawing out utility, cannot go unnoticed. It cannot go unchecked. It may go checked this round though, and Nexa still posts up 2 kills with that MP9 and keeps them away from the smoke. That's a fantastic individual performance from Nexa that could have just secured them so much going into this round. Nexa now gets another couple, doing it all alone with a 4K. And although broky has been a man possessed on 13 frags, there are limitations to even his reach. What a round from Nexa.
That's huge, man. The A anchor that sinks the FaZe clan ship. Part of it. Early on, they set themselves up round towards the B site, fighting for lane. karrigan hits the head of Magisk, takes 2 to the grave as he goes down with Nexa as well.
Well, he frags back and forth, but it's now FaZe taking the lead. Frozen still alive, still able to deliver some fatal blows if they overextend here. And niko's out though, and he has full faith in his Glock aim. We saw him bag a bunch on Anubis in that pistol round, and he's got 3, a hat trick again. And still tons of time left on the clock here, Jackie. They don't have to force either way in. Can try and wait to see if the CTs blink first.
ropz requests the rotation, and broky begins to make his move back round through CT. 50 seconds on the clock. niko curious about what positions are in play. Hunter peeks into it, and his head gets obliterated. niko with 1 though. Now it's all down to the fine margins. A 1v1, time to work with. He can cut noise and slow down the round. Rotates offense, guaranteeing himself an opportunity to arrive on the A site and plant the bomb, forcing it into a 1v1 retake from broky.
Love the call. He's on 28 HP. His position is known. He knows if he wide swings the angle, 1 bullet and he's dead. Then this now allows him to control how this 1v1 comes down. This is exquisite play from niko. And it gives him a real chance to not just clutch this round, but to land the ace on top of it, and a round that G2 so desperately require. He's seen the script before with this full 10-second defuse. broky, he's not falling for it. He hears the sound cues. broky around the corner.
From their opening positions, and initially the Molotovs will hold back the wave. They wanted to go fast up ramp, but they're denied the push. Nade bounces wide. niko hits the head. karrigan slain.
niko cracks open the site. And rain, he was caught in the smoke for what would have felt like an eternity. Although broky does come back with 1, the site has been pillaged. broky gonna try and plant that flag back down again with the FaZe colors, and it's ropz that joins him. The two of them have done it for now. But Hunter's brought us back into a 2-on-2. 1 minute 15 on the clock, but they've lost possession of the bomb. They could maybe fake out an over-rotation, but broky's having none of it. HooXi in a 1-on-2.
The heads-up play from broky. It makes a world of difference. HooXi. He's got to get the bomb. He's got to find a pathway into the bomb site, and they can play off each other. They can hold the crossfire. broky depth-defying stuff as he bounces back and stays alive. HooXi eats the nade, and time is ticking. Pressure's mounting. They've got a crossfire set up on this one with ropz on the off angle as well, and there is no good opportunity for G2 to make an easy move back into this round, Vince. Time is ticking, and it seems like FaZe have once again found an opportunity to get themselves around.
Still time though, and HooXi knows the economy of FaZe is busted. It's barely hanging. If he can find the golden ticket here, it would have been huge for G2, but
series, the storylines would be there in droves. Early utility damage goes the same way. Again, the shrapnel does damage onto G2, but the frags are theirs. karrigan has been taken out of commission in the same play once again, and they start to mount pressure on the site. They're already in, Vince.
I feel like I've got deja vu, Jackie. How many times has niko just run up ramp and got the first pick? It's outrageous. Some protocols need to be changed, maybe a couple of extra HEs or a Molotov early on to stop this from happening. But the rot continues to spread as niko continues to lay down the law and lives of the FaZe clan players. And just in a couple of moments, FaZe have been destroyed again. And their A site has to be the sanctuary for the save. But niko just waltzing up ramp, just chilling. 18 kills, the guy just can't miss right now.
And like you say, they can get away with murder for absolutely free. No one's backstabbing. No one's charging at them. Spamming his way through cave, using the nades to hold them back. They're giving them an opportunity.
But it doesn't leave them much in return now. 1 minute and 15, 2 smokes and a HE remain.
They're being battered by the nades. They've got none of their own. They've not really got anything to battle back. Slow down, G2. Do to them what is being done to FaZe. And HooXi creeps in through the cave, slays karrigan. m0uZ already scoped, finds the adjustment as broky's gone. Back turn for Rain as well, Vince. This is only going to get worse as the time ticks.
And they seem to have a good read of the situation. They anticipate a 3-player stack. They know there's more than enough time, ample opportunity for a rotation to have already nestled itself onto the site. So niko taking no prisoners and taking no chances. Takes the head of Rain and shoves it away from the site. Hunter with a spray, and ropz is the last man alive. But his only mission is to save his orc. Any prospects of the round were long gone, thrown into the wind, and briskly forced away. So G2 will have an 11-8 lead, Jackie. I don't think many people would have gave them a chance to win this best of 3. I certainly think very few people would have said they 2-0 the series.
It's unbelievable scenes. ropz must deny it with the orc.
So played one in this position right now, it would be him. The initial spray is good. Mollied out of position with the flashes as well, and m0uZ returns the favor. Orp trained to perfection. And now Nexa needs to wide swing in. karrigan stands his ground, drops the bomb and gets a second, giving a lifeline to FaZe.
A missed shot from m0uZ, and the problems are creeping in. FaZe are not giving up control of this game for free, and m0uZ falls as broky stands tall and gives them one.
Clean kill at that, you know. A flashbang out, Frozen goes for the repeak, but he is stuck between players. He at least has some backup, but niko is going to punish him for overstaying.
Isn't it fitting that it's niko again to be activated? m0uZ waiting for the repeak, but broky has been the only one that can slow down the AWPing superstar of m0uZ in this round. He's removed, blown away by the AWP of G2, and it all falls onto the last 2 members. FaZe Clan's hope and dreams in the best of 3 is on ropz and karrigan.
karrigan typically comes alive in these moments, but he's been put to his death by Hunter, and that leaves ropz now with so much pressure So much to do. Yes, he's got the first pick, but it's one of the hardest areas in Counter-Strike to burst out from. He at least has the smoke and flash to dart back into. Time is low and Hunter...